This one still works if you wanted to use this one. That's okay. I think we should just share this. You want to use it
Real briefly, I just want to say hi to everybody out there in internet land. You all set? Peter, Will, the shirts, man. That's my only my only saving thing. Are you ready? Great. Hey, everybody out there. I want to welcome you to Millersville University and to a Friday afternoon masterclass. We have very special guests with us this afternoon, Peter and Will Anderson. And I'd like to just get going right away so we can get things going. These are the two combos that are here today with the Jazz Lab combos. So we're going to start with combo number 2. They're going to play some Jordu for you guys. And then we're going to hear from the brothers and get some coaching in. Thank you.
All right. Can you all hear me out there? Yes? I think this mic is on. Wow, that was a real pleasure hearing you all play. You all can really play. And the sound is great in here, and I really like the balance that I'm getting. I can hear all the instruments really well, so that's really important because, you know, what we're doing here is we're not a symphony orchestra. We're not trying to blend in with each other. We're playing chamber music, just like if we were in a string quartet, and I really want to be able to hear all of the instruments to kind of an equal extent. Sometimes our bass player here, what's your name? Anthony. Sometimes the sound gets a little bit muddy, like I can't hear the attack on the beginning of every note. That could be where I'm standing or anything, but have you thought about that at all, like the attack of the sound? Okay, cool. I think part of it depends on the instrument, depends on the amplifier and all that. But it was something I was noticing when I was listening in. I think I just want to hear the beat a little bit more. I mean, I'm definitely getting a good sense of the tempo and the beat from all of you together, but I could probably hear a little bit more of kind of an accent so I could really hear the beat. But other than that, I mean, all the notes sounded good. Do you play any acoustic bass? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, I'd love to hear you play acoustic because, you know, playing the acoustic, it takes a little bit more kind of energy and plucking of the string, and that's kind of what the instrument is about, is like providing that beat and that real hard pluck so that everyone can hear it. And with the electric bass, it's not as much of an issue because you can kind of just turn up. But I think maybe part of it could be if you turned down a little bit but gave it a little bit more strength. That might be part of what I'm hearing. But overall, great job. I mean, it's kind of a tough tune. There's a lot of chord changes going by. You know, you're all taking solos, which is awesome. Is that like the roadmap that you guys have worked out? Yeah. Okay. Who's the group leader? So if there was a leader of the group, who would it be?
I think it really depends on the tune.
Okay.
With like each one we have, we kind of individually lead it. I think probably for this tune, Carson kind of did that beat. He's kind of been the one that's really been into it.
Okay, cool.
Share the job.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that I could say. One thing that kind of that came to mind is, you know, with this tune, it's in the key of C minor. There's a lot of kind of, except for the bridge, there's a lot of C minor happening. It sounds like you all have decided on taking 2 chorus solos. So we've got, you know, the melody, we've got 2 chorus solos, and then we've got the kind of the shout chorus with the drums. Especially when you all are giving a performance and kind of crafting a performance, it's good to kind of work out not only the format, but like what the arc of the tune is going to be. And one thing off the bat I would say is I think the solos, like the sound of the solos is a little bit monotonous. And I'm kind of looking at you for more ideas about what you could do on this particular tune during the solos. Like, have you tried doing anything else? Okay, cool. I'm going to quote you on that. You said you're going to wing it every time. Okay. I mean, have you tried any brushes on this tune? Okay. Do you play brushes? Cool. I mean, you know, generally with jazz drumming, there's a lot of different things you can do, but I would say just off the bat, obviously, you could, you know, play on the cymbal with sticks. You could play on the cymbal with brushes. You could play on the snare with brushes. You could play on the hi-hat and just swing on the hi-hat with sticks. I mean, there's a lot of different colors that you can do. You can switch to the other ride cymbal, which you were doing a little bit. But I think you want, drumming is not about the pitches, it's not about the chord changes, it's not even really about the melody, it's really about texture. And you want to give as much variety of texture as possible without going overboard, you know what I mean? So, you have a lot of responsibility and a lot of power, and I think that giving the audience a different texture is really important. And, obviously all of us here, we love jazz, we're jazz heads, but there are a lot of people out there, I hate to say it, that hate jazz, okay? I mean, what John Oliver made a joke about it in one of his, speeches a couple months ago, and it just, a tear kind of started rolling down my cheek. But I think it's important to keep in mind why people don't like jazz. I know that's kind of a weird thought, but I think in my mind a lot of people don't like jazz because there's not enough variety in it. And if we give too much monotony and the level, the sound level, the number of decibels is just the exact same and the texture is the same the whole time, people are going to get a little bit tired of it. And, us in here, we love these chord changes, we love Charlie Parker and all that, so we're not going to get sick of it, but we have to think about, giving it a little variety. So, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, sure. In addition to the drummer being responsible for kind of changing the texture, I think our bassist could do the same. And when I was listening to you play, it was awesome that you were able to make all the hits. Like when the melody is played, you were making all those hits. Usually we come and do these master classes, and all the bassist knows how to do is just play boom, 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 like just walk for the whole song. And the fact that you know the hits of the song is really impressive. If each player is going to take two choruses, maybe you could play the hits for the first chorus and then walk for the second chorus, because that would, give a variety to the solo, right? Because the first chorus would be a certain feel, and then the second chorus would be a different type of feel. Oh, like rhythm?
Right. Well, if you want to just do the preset kind of hit rhythm, or you want to go a little bit free for the second chorus.
Yeah, but when you do go into walking, make it really deliberate. Like you'll see this on gigs all the time with players like Christian McBride, and they'll play in two for the first chorus, and then they'll look at the drummer, and at the top of the next chorus, they both go into 4/4, right? The drummer will go to the cymbal, and the bass player, whoever it is, most professionals will really walk in 4, and they'll keep that steady beat going. And then, if halfway through the chorus they were to drop back into 2, it's a little bit of a letdown. So I think about that. It's just something to think about. If everyone's going to take 2 hits for the first, walking exclusively for the second one. So that might help, because you guys are a team. If you do something and he doesn't follow you, it's going to kind of sound a little bit wrong, right? So if you were playing the brushes and you were playing the hits, and then the second chorus you went to the cymbal with the sticks and you were playing in 4, it would kind of give it a lift. Does that kind of go along with what you were?
Yeah, so maybe we could do it again, and just as kind of like a format, like the first chorus of the solo could be, let's try, if you could use brushes and like make the hits of the arrangement, same thing with you, and same thing with you, and then at the top of the second chorus, go into 4, and then swing on the cymbal, and then you can be a little bit more free with your comping. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. And before we try it again, I just want to comment. You're sounding great, man. Really nailing the melody, and man, it's hard to play trumpet. You can play swing all day, But when you play trumpet, you get tired, and it's just a monster. If we get to do the melody again, I want you to try, when you articulate the melody, try articulating the offbeats, right? Because when we play classical music, I'll have Will demonstrate, because when we play classical music, we either like tongue all the notes. Yeah, and it has a straight feel. Now play Jordu like that, the melody. Right. So if we were playing like a straight eighth tune, it would sound like that. But if you want to have the swing feel, you want to be tonguing the off beats, right? So this is what it would sound like. Right. So you want to tongue the ands and slur to the on beats. Does that make sense to you? Right. So it sounds very like routine and textbook, but like it really gives a kind of good feel to it. You can practice slow like that, and then when you speed it up, it sounds good. So all I'm doing is just so I'm just tonguing the off beats.
Yeah.
You probably heard that before, right?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that gives a little bit more fluency. You want to try that together?
Yeah.
1, C major. We'll do Georgia. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's something you can practice at home. And it's easy on a tune like this, but if you're practicing like a Charlie Parker head, those are so hard to articulate. But if you just articulate the off beats on the and slur to the on beats, it'll sound natural.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. And then Will didn't mention this, but another thing guitarists can do, since there's two of you, like one of you can chomp. Have you ever tried playing 4/4 like that?
Yeah. Okay.
Can I hear a little bit of that? Just some rhythm guitar?
Yeah. Both of us?
Just you.
Alright. So, just chomping?
Yeah, just chomping. Try turning down, like almost all the way, and then I'm just talking about like quarter notes. All right, like literally just quarter notes. Yeah, exactly. And then if you do that? It doesn't have to be the whole time. You can really focus in on locking with these two guys, and then you're more free to do syncopated stuff or whatever. And then maybe you can switch or something. Just something to think about, because having two guitars in a group, you have to do a little bit of directing traffic. Cool. So let's do it again, and let's try that roadmap that I suggested. We might not play all the way through it, but for the first chorus of everyone's solo, I'd like to hear some brushes, and then kind of stick to the arrangement. And then on the second chorus, move to swing, where it's kind of opening up and it's a little bit more free. And it can get a little bit louder too.
Yeah, last thing I want to what happens on the bridge. Get there. It sounds like a big band chart. So that's something to try as well.
Definitely. Okay. Good. Cool. Yeah, so let's do it. And maybe a tad faster too. At the head. Yeah, and really try with my vocals. Sorry?
Hopefully I won't mess up this time.
Oh, all good. Yeah. Here we go. 4 beats. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we got off on the horn a little bit, right? I think something happened there.
Yeah, I think somebody jumped in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I think we're out of time with you guys. That sounds really great. Are you part of the big band tonight or no?
I am.
Okay, cool. Save the chops.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. Stuff, man. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I like that solo break.
Sorry about that. Cool. Whenever you guys are ready. Nice. Awesome. Who came up with that? Cool. Can you just tell me your names? Go.
Hi, I'm Alexi.
Alexi. Sounds great, man.
Chris. Declan.
Declan? Nice.
Michael. Good Irish names.
Cool. Man, you guys sound great. This is also one of my favorite tunes. So, can anyone tell me what the song is based on? It's based on a famous song. Yes. I Got Rhythm. Very good. So obviously there are hundreds of jazz songs that are based on I Got Rhythm. Can you tell me what composer wrote I Got Rhythm? Awesome, cool. Yeah, so Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker had a great respect for George Gershwin, and they wrote this song along with like I said, hundreds of songs in the swing era and bebop, which are based on I Got Rhythm. There is one little difference in I Got Rhythm, in that there's a tag at the end. But for kind of simplicity purposes, a lot of these rhythm changes songs just have 32 bars, which make them a lot easier. But I kind of messed up with your guys' format maybe a little bit, but I felt like I wanted to hear from everyone because you guys sounded so great. Do you have a format worked out for like a concert at all, or? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, cool. So have you guys listened to recordings of this song? Like which ones in particular? Yeah, Charlie Parker. Any others? Elvin Jones. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Okay. Has anyone here ever transcribed a complete jazz solo on a rhythm changes before? Not, but like another one. I could tell. Yeah. Cool. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I mean, one of my teachers in New York City is a pianist named Barry Harris. Anyone hear of Barry Harris? Anyone out there? Okay, you don't count. Yeah. But he talks about the rhythm changes a lot, and he says that 90% of jazz is in the blues and the rhythm changes. So the chord structure in rhythm changes like gives us so much to work with. So if we learn rhythm changes heads, I mean anthropology is one of them, but there are dozens, if not hundreds, and we learn transcribed solos of rhythm changes, there's so much we can use in this to other songs. Because like in this song, we've got 1, 6, 2, 5s. We've got the bridge, which takes us in the cycle of dominant chords. And then also in the A section, we have that 1 dominant to 4 to sharp 4 diminished, or there's a couple variations. But if you're able to kind of study that and get through that, it's going to give you a lot of like good material and language. I hope I'm making some sense here. Yeah, awesome, cool. How about you horn players? Have you transcribed any solos?
I did J.J. Johnson, Jaybird. That's really cheap.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you just take one chorus over it, but I mean, I learned so much from it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, how about you? Okay, but like, any other solos?
Autumn Leaves, working on Cannonball over on Milestones.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. And that's on alto. Yeah. Okay, nice. Cool. Any solos?
Not on rhythm changes, but I've done Roy Hargrove's Strasbourg.
Okay. Awesome. How about you on the bass?
Not over rhythm changes, no, but I've done, I did a few, it's going to sound stupid because it's not a fusion group, but I've done a few weather report tunes.
Okay.
I've done, I actually did do, what is it, Billy's Bounce, I did the Charlie Parker solo, and then I did, off of that same recording, I believe it was Miles who played trumpet, I did his solo as well.
Oh, cool. Nice. And our drummer, I can definitely tell you've transcribed some.
A lot of Elvin, a lot of Max Roach. Jack David Manitou is probably my favorite.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really liked your solo. I mean, when I was listening to it, I got like a little bit lost kind of in in the beginning, but then you were so clear with it that I knew where one is. But I think we had a little bit of a discrepancy going back into the head, and I mean, part of the reason that I kind of wanted to mess with your format is because it kind of tests all the musicians' like ability to keep track of where we are. So I threw you all a curveball there. You did pretty well, but I think if you had all like maybe just paid a little bit more attention during the drum solo, I think it would have been okay. It's easy when other people are soloing to kind of like start daydreaming, you know, but it's, you know, but on the bandstand, we don't know what's going to happen, you know. The band leader might point at you at like a random point in the song, and you have to solo or you have to be ready. So as jazz musicians, we kind of have to be ready for anything. So that's something just to keep in mind. Did you have anything to build off of that? Or yeah.
Yeah, so when I was like first in New York in jazz school, we had this teacher named Kenny Washington. He's a drummer. You've probably heard his name, right? Yeah, so you know, you guys have met him before? Yeah, so you know, we get to New York, we're all these young guys, we want to like show Kenny that we can play all these wild solos. So we have a 2-hour master class and we're playing a bebop head like this. And he had us work as an ensemble on the melody for the entire 2-hour class. So we're not going to do that here, but we could probably work on it for a few minutes. And I really like this head, like for one reason. I don't know if you notice in the first 4 bars, it exclusively uses just the B-flat scale. There's no chromatic notes. In a Charlie Parker tune, you think there's going to be all these like flat 5s and stuff. Right, so in bird tunes, the accented notes are always the ones that are on the top and off the beat. So what you want to do is you want to accent those syncopated notes, sort of what we were talking about with our trumpet player over there. The offbeats are the ones that you tongue, that need to be accented, and the other ones you can kind of throw them away a little bit. Right? And so when you guys are playing, I don't really need to hear like every 8th note. That's not really the feel of it. So let's just have just the horns just on the melody and see if you can accent the offbeats. And in the first couple notes, there was one note that you were playing that was off from these guys. Yeah, can you play the first couple? Yeah, so that, yeah, that E should be a C. That one should be a C. Yeah, yeah.
Which, you know, it's a little bit trickier on rhythm changes because you got all these changes going by. But I think 4/4 is what we want to hear on the head.
Now, our guitarists, do you play the melody with them as well? Okay. Yeah, right, because there's no piano. I wonder if there's a way where you could play the melody and play the chords. I don't know, just something to think about. But I really like what you're doing though, so don't change it. Does anyone notice how he's playing with his right hand? Is there anything like peculiar about what he's doing? Does anyone notice? Huh? Does anyone know that he's playing with his thumb? And that's something that was pioneered by Wes Montgomery. And there's like only a handful of guitar players that do it and sound good. And you're really sounding awesome at it. So, yeah, it's like you get like a really different sound. It's almost like if, you know, I had a blindfold on, I can actually like hear that you're playing with your thumb, which is cool because, you know, Wes did it and he sounded great. Wow, awesome. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to play this again. Sorry to cut you off, but can you remind me your name on the guitar? Alexi, yeah. I just want to like make a point of Alexi just to embarrass him further. Because I can tell Alexi is really into Wes Montgomery. And not only am I biased because Wes is one of my favorite guitar players, but I can really tell that Alexi has like focused on that one player and that one style. And I think a lot of times in education and music education, we're told like to like do a little bit of everything. Oh man, like transcribe this Benny Goodman and transcribe this Albert Eiler and transcribe this Louis Armstrong and transcribe this, you know, Schoenberg piano piece. But like a lot of times focusing on one thing that you really love and making sure you do that really well is actually really valuable. So I just want to make a point to say that's pretty awesome because you've definitely dedicated a lot of time. And like I when I was coming up learning jazz, I did that. Like I had like a year where all I would listen to is Cannonball Adderley, and I transcribed like 20 of his solos. And then the next year, all I would listen to is Charlie Parker. So sometimes like narrowing your study can be actually really valuable. So I would definitely encourage that for everyone out there to focus in on something you like and don't get too distracted by tons of other stuff outside of it. So, did I embarrass you? So you don't seem like the type of guy that I can embarrass because you're just such a cool dude. So, anyway, okay, back to the music. So we'll play the head.
Yeah, we'll pick up the tempo. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because like what my brother and I were talking about with kind of accenting the notes and ghosting some of the notes, for us to kind of hear those accents, I think a little bit kind of less volume. And then on the solos, you know, you can go wild on that.
The other thing is, when we were in these classes with Kenny, he would make the drummers play the melody too. So that would be a good exercise. for you to try to play the melody on the drums. Yeah, he had this whole way, and then you could take it a step further. You could play it all on the snare, or like for the accented notes. Yeah. Yeah. You don't know the melody, do you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So another reason it would be good for you to learn is because, if I heard a couple times where you would play a chord and it like clashed a little bit with the melody, but the melody will tell you if the chord works or not, right? So okay, cool.
Can you play for me kind of slowly the chords you're playing in the 5th bar of the A section? Yeah. Right, so is that like an F minor 7? Yeah, I think that one it's a little bit off because the melody's a B flat, which kind of works, but I think on this tune, like when a lot of times if Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie were playing, Bud Powell would be playing on the piano, and that chord right there is more like a B flat 6 going to a B flat 7. Yeah, I mean, the F minor 7 is cool, and it's definitely a nice extra flavor for the solos maybe, but for the head it's like a slight clash. I mean, I like it for sure, but that one kind of popped out at me. Yeah, and it's always good to just, especially with a tune like this where there's so many possibilities, is be listening to our bass player and kind of making sure that everything is like not clashing too much. We've got like a couple minutes. Does anyone have any questions for us at all? Like anyone out there or anyone in the band?
I've got just a question about comping in terms of not from like information standpoint, but just a matter of like what I'm doing underneath your solos. Like, did you feel like it was too overbearing or there was too little? I've been trying to really hunker down, especially this semester, on comping from a standpoint of being the only harmonic information in terms of chords to support the group. And I don't want to keep doing the same, and just like making sure that I'm keeping it interesting, as well as like staying true to the form the entire time. Did you notice anything like in my playing specifically that you were like, oh, I wish the guitar player would stop playing that there, or wishing that I would do more there, or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, just kind of like coming off my last comment, like about the F minor 7. I mean, I think I was hearing everything that you're doing, and it's hip, but I think kind of exploring all the different options. Like for example, in the first bar, we could play a B flat, and then what's the next? Right, like a G7 could work, or like what about a B flat diminished? And then going to the 2 chord there. There's just a lot of variations on this tune. So I would say generally my answer is I really liked your kind of aggressiveness and confidence. So I wouldn't be, the last thing I'd want you to feel is like afraid to play the chords. So I'd rather like you be overconfident than overly timid. So that's my short answer. Maybe we could get to a few others before we head out of here. Do we have any over there? No. Okay, well, anyone in the band? All, yeah.
I guess same question, but for me.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything you don't liked or didn't like? It was like, why are you playing this here? Do that instead.
Well, yeah, everything I was hearing from you was great. I mean, in this style of music, like my brother was mentioning before, the sound of the bass is really an acoustic bass. So there's nothing wrong with electric bass, and there's been so many great players that have played it. But I would say, like, the sound of this melody and is so connected to the sound of the acoustic bass that I would I don't want to make you switch instruments, but you might want to just try playing the upright, because like one of the differences is the decay of the note. So when you play a note on the electric bass, it kind of lingers, right? And so the notes sound more like, but on a acoustic bass, they would have a little bit more decay and a little bit more bounce to them. Wouldn't you say so? And so if there's any way to get that more in your sound.
Right. The closest I've been getting with this guy here specifically is I've been playing with the tone knob like completely off, because this is what it sounds like on. Yeah, very electric. Very
Okay.
loud, but then I roll it off, I get. Especially if I play.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's very.
It's not exact, but it's as close as this bass specifically gets.
Yeah, those are different sounds. Well, it's nice to have the option.
This thing's like, it's a one-trick pony, but it's a really good trick.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say is, like, it's not easy to walk on those instruments, and it often sounds like really corny and stuff. And you didn't sound like that at all. So it sounded very steady and very natural. So yeah, keep it up. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's been a real pleasure working with you all. I just before we finish, I'm just going to go around the room, and I'd like everyone to give me their favorite jazz player on their instrument. Okay? Yeah, go. Yeah, we're canceling you. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll go next. I'm gonna say Johnny Hodges.
Yeah. Oh, we're past that one. Yeah. Okay. I'm on a cannonball kick right now, but Paul Desmond historically, but
I like what's his name now? Bill Watrous. Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'm still thinking. Roy Hargrove, I've been listening to a lot.
Can I pick two? All right. Charles Mingus and Paul Chambers. Love those guys.
Probably for me, either Elvin Jones or Jack DeJohnette. Probably Jack DeJohnette, to be honest. Elvin Jones.
Jim Hall is a big one for me. I've dabbled in a little bit of Pat Martino and Joe Pass, but Jim Hall is probably number two for me.
I don't get to go? Okay.
You had your chance.
Django Reinhardt.
I gotta go with Chet Baker.
I gotta say Grant Gessman.
Ray Brown.
I'd say Buddy Rich historically.
I'm the vocalist for this group. I know I wasn't in that, but Diana Crow.
What about you, Kaufman? What about you?
You guys don't know already? No, I'm a Coltrane head. I'm a Coltrane head. Hi.
Well, I'll choose Lucky Thompson because I'm playing soprano. Cool. Well, again, it's been a thrill. We want to thank Amy Banks for putting this together and having us. And Ryan, we want to thank you as well. And for everyone watching, thanks for being here. Good luck tonight, everyone. It's going to be a blast. Sorry. We can come tonight, right? Yeah. We're gonna catch at least a portion of the concert tonight. So looking forward to hearing you guys. All right. Thank you.